over fields of green, remembering the faces, the moments unseen, the hands that built a dynasty, the vision in their eyes, echoes in the auction barn beneath an endless sky. This is the bullline, turn the volume high, for the icons of the ages that never will die. From the show ring thunder to the quiet strength they knew, hear their stories now, coming right on through.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Bullvine Podcast. I'm your host, and today I have an absolutely incredible story to share with you. It's a story that proves sometimes the greatest dynasties in dairy genetics hang by the thinnest of threads, and how a single spotted calf born in Minnesota completely transformed the Holstein world. Picture this. It's a crisp autumn morning in September 2005 at Larcrest Holsteins in Albert Lea, Minnesota. John and Ann Larson are going through their usual routine when they get word that another calf has been born. This one's spotted, female, and sired by the popular Picston Shottle. In the busy rhythm of any dairy operation, it probably seemed like just another entry in the herd book. But folks, they were witnessing the birth of what would become a global genetic empire worth millions of dollars. That spotted calf was Larcrest Cosmopolitan, and 20 years later, even though she's passed on, her genetic fingerprints are literally everywhere. I'm talking AI studs from Alberta to Amsterdam, champion rings from Wisconsin to Bavaria. Her descendants have claimed national titles, topped genomic rankings, and commanded record-breaking auction prices that'll make your head spin. But here's the thing that absolutely blows my mind about this story. This dynasty almost never happened. And I mean almost never happened on multiple occasions. Let me paint you the picture of how close we came to losing this incredible bloodline before it even started. 2 generations before Cosmopolitan was born, her great-grandmother, Larcrest Chanel, suffered severe calving paralysis as a 2-year-old. We're talking about a cow that was down for over 2 weeks. In most cases, that's a death sentence. But somehow, through sheer determination and the devoted care of the Larson family, she survived. Can you imagine? The entire foundation of this global dynasty hinged on one cow's will to live. But wait, it gets even more dramatic. Cosmopolitan's dam, Larcrest Oside Champagne, was born as a twin to a bull calf. Now, if you know anything about cattle genetics, you know that over 90% of female calves born co-twin to males are infertile Freemartins. The logical decision would have been immediate culling. But the Larsons kept her anyway, and against overwhelming odds, Champagne proved fertile and bred successfully. John Larson himself puts it best, and I love his humility here. He says, "We've been lucky. The juror had calving paralysis as a 2-year-old and was down for 2 weeks. She probably should have died, but somehow she had the drive and spirit to survive. Then the outside was a twin with a bull, and for some reason we kept her, and we were lucky enough that she bred." This just goes to show you that even in our age of genomics and scientific breeding, sometimes the greatest genetic treasures hang by the most fragile threads of fate. Now, Cosmopolitan herself didn't waste any time making her mark. She rapidly captured international attention by achieving the coveted #1 GTPI position among US Holstein cows. Think about that for a moment. In a breed with millions of animals, this spotted Minnesota heifer rose to the very top. She combined the power and presence of her Shottle genetics with proven transmitting ability that would define her legacy through 184 registered progeny in the United States and prestigious gold medal dam and dam of merit awards. But the real star of this story, the beating heart of this expanding dynasty, became Cosmopolitan's Ramos daughter, Larcrest Crimson. And let me tell you about Crimson, because she's where this story gets really exciting. John Larson has this wonderful quote about Crimson that just captures the passion these breeders have. He says, "Crimson is housed in a box stall close to where I do the milking, so I spend my days with Crimson and my nights with Ann. I'm the luckiest guy alive." You can just hear the love and respect in his voice, can't you? Crimson is described as a powerful cow with a big, strong head, wide muzzle, massive rib capacity, and impressive width of chest and rump. She embodies that perfect marriage of genetic merit and practical functionality that modern dairy farming demands. But here's where the story gets absolutely wild: the market recognition of this genetic goldmine. Picture yourself in a packed sale barn. The tension is thick, bidding is escalating beyond all expectations. Crimson's observer daughter Kale has offspring going through the ring. Larcrest Cardigan, a Uno daughter, brings a stunning $400,000. Her supersire sister Canto sells for $290,000. $400,000. For dairy farmers watching these sales, these weren't just impressive figures. They were validation that genetics could truly transform their operations' profitability and sustainability. Crimson's transmitting ability reached its pinnacle in 2016 when she was crowned Global Cow of the Year after finishing second the previous 2 years. Her sons read like a who's who of influential AI sires: Calibrate, Camelot, Chavez, Conquest, Casual, and Cyclone. Each one carried forward the family's genetic blueprint to herds worldwide. Now, let me tell you about some of the global superstars that emerged from this family, because this is where you really see the international impact. From Crimson's genetics grew multiple branches. Her observer daughter Larcrest Kalinda became the dam of Larcrest Commander, a mogul son who ranked number 31 TPI in the US and number 2 LPI in Canada. Commander daughters consistently deliver those welded-on udders and high components that translate directly into easier milking, reduced mastitis treatments, and enhanced profitability. But the international reach really shows through bulls like Stantons Chief, a high-octane son bred in Ontario, Canada. In 2023, Chief's daughters were claiming championships everywhere. Les Ponts Chief Alina won national champion in Germany, Maxima Dubois Senior earned the same honor in Belgium, and back in the United States, Blexis Chief Bloody Mary captured All-American milking yearling honors. Chief's influence extends far beyond show rings, though. With over 22,000 daughters in his proof, he represents a genetic revolution in action. His daughters consistently demonstrate those signature family traits: good strength and width throughout, strong loins, wide rumps, and those shallow, smoothly attached udders that remain youthful and functional throughout extended lactations. Now, I want to talk about Sandy Valley Conway because his story really illustrates the practical value these genetics deliver. Conway ranked number 13 on the daughter-proven TPI charts as of October 2023 with a score of 29 and 59. But here's what really gets me excited. Dairymen milking Conway daughters report something special. Kevin Jorgensen from Select Sires explains it perfectly. Dairymen milking Conway daughters have commented that they are perhaps milking better than his milk proof indicates, and that they are very persistent in lactation, being better at 150 days in milk than they are at 60 days in milk. Mike Larson at Larson Acres in Wisconsin, who's milking 2,500 cows, gives us the real-world validation. Way above average for type, really excellent components, and I would say a bit wetter than the proof says. Conway is very consistent in what he does, with moderate size, welded-on udders, and no glaring type deficiencies. This persistence in lactation represents more than just a genetic trait. It's the kind of practical excellence that builds sustainable dairy operations. When cows maintain their production deep into lactation, everything improves: feed efficiency, reproductive performance, overall herd profitability. Conway's 44 sons entering the Select Sires system represent a multiplication of this excellence, carrying cosmopolitan genetics to thousands of dairy farms where improved udders, enhanced components, and extended productive lives translate directly into increased profitability and reduced management challenges. Now, what really impresses me about the Larsons' approach at Larcrest is how they've balanced cutting-edge technology with time-tested principles. They've developed two distinct breeding lines from Crimson's genetics: a high TPI line focused on production metrics, and a high type line emphasizing conformation excellence. This strategic approach allows them to meet diverse market demands while preserving those essential family characteristics. John explains it this way: we've developed two distinct lines from Crimson that form the mainstay of our breeding program. We have the TPI line and a high-type line. On the type side, they work with Crimson's EX92 Atwood daughter Cordial, whose Dorman daughter Circadian scored VG87 as a 2-year-old with an impressive 3-IV GPAT. But here's what really excites John when he talks about what these numbers mean for farmers and their animals. Our 2-year-olds are better than the previous generations, especially in the areas of fitness and longevity. They are more trouble-free than we've ever had before. This evolution toward enhanced robustness represents more than genetic progress. It embodies the values that drive sustainable dairy farming. When cows require fewer veterinary interventions, maintain better body condition, and extend their productive lives, the benefits cascade through every aspect of farm management. Feed efficiency improves, labor demands decrease, animal welfare increases, and profitability grows. The integration of genomic testing has revolutionized their breeding decisions while maintaining focus on practical outcomes. As John notes, it's always rewarding when what you see and what the animal turns out to be fit exactly with what the numbers predicted. And that is just as important to us, whether we are using it to pick out the high milk heifer from a group of siblings or the high type heifer. John reflects on the genomic revolution. For us, it really has been the realization of what genomics promised. Technology has enhanced rather than replaced the fundamental principles of good breeding and animal husbandry. The family's extraordinary impact gained formal recognition in Holstein International's Comprehensive Cow Family Tournament in 2021, where Larcrest Cosmopolitan secured the 8th position among 40 of the world's most influential cow families. Judge Burns Summer characterized her as the powerful combination of Shottle and outside, while Mauricio de los Santos described her as a strong and speckled Shottle daughter, representing an exemplary family that has contributed splendidly to breeding all over the world, both in the male and female lines. The global reach of these genetics is truly remarkable. John explains their international approach. The main export countries for us have been Japan, Germany, France, and the Netherlands. We really value our international clients and enjoy working with them. This has created a network of elite breeders working with Cosmopolitan genetics, each adding their expertise to the family's ongoing evolution. In Japan, bulls like Cosmopolis became among the most popular daughter-proven sires. In the Netherlands, Veka Chevrolet achieved success, and in Germany, Fanatic made his mark. This global network creates a feedback loop of genetic improvement, where success in different environments validates and refines breeding decisions made back in Minnesota. Today, the Cosmopolitan influence continues expanding through currently active AI sires, including Genosource Captain, who reached #1 TPI in the US in 2025. This proves that the family's impact remains as strong as ever, nearly 20 years after Cosmopolitan first captured the world's attention. Strategic initiatives at Larcrest, including the development of polled genetics through lines like Larcrest Farah PRC, show how they continue innovating while preserving the family's essential characteristics. This willingness to explore new genetic combinations while maintaining core family traits ensures the legacy will continue evolving to meet future industry needs. As I wrap up this incredible story, I want you to think about what it really represents. Walk into any modern dairy parlor, from Minnesota to Bavaria, and you might find yourself observing the quiet revolution that Cosmopolitan genetics have created. Her 184 registered progeny in the United States represent just the beginning. The true measure of her impact lies in countless descendants now milking in commercial herds worldwide. These aren't just genetic abstractions, they're cows that maintain their production deeper into lactation, require fewer veterinary interventions, and generate more profit for farming families. Each improved udder reduces mastitis risk and treatment costs. Each enhanced component percentage increases milk check values. Each extended productive life reduces replacement costs and improves herd efficiency. The story of Larcrest Cosmopolitan ultimately transcends genetics and numbers. In an industry where animal welfare, environmental stewardship, and economic sustainability increasingly define success, this family's evolution toward enhanced robustness and functionality provides a roadmap for responsible breed development. From a single spotted calf born on a Minnesota farm to a global genetic empire spanning continents, the Cosmopolitan dynasty stands as proof that exceptional breeding, when guided by wisdom, commitment, and respect for both genetic merit and practical farming values, can create legacies that outlast any individual cow, farm, or even generation of breeders. The story continues writing itself in breeding barns from Minnesota to Munich, from Ontario to Osaka, wherever dedicated breeders recognize that true genetic progress comes not from chasing trends, but from developing complete animals that excel in all the traits that matter to sustainable dairy farming. That harmonious balance between genetic excellence and sustainable farming practices, that may just be the most remarkable achievement of all. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey through the Larcrest Cosmopolitan legacy. If this story teaches us anything, it's that sometimes the most extraordinary achievements begin with the most fragile circumstances. But with vision, dedication, and yes, a little bit of luck, they can transform an entire industry. Keep breeding those complete cows, folks, and we'll see you next time on the Bovine Podcast.
Turn the volume high for the icons of the ages that never will die. From the show-ring thunder to the quiet strength they knew. Hear their stories now, coming right on through. Oh, tell the tale, the bovine legends live.